And to other stories, it has been nearly 3 years since Captain Ibrahim Traoré took on the reins of leadership in Burkina Faso. The charismatic 37-year-old has skillfully built the persona of a Pan-Africanist leader determined to free his nation from what he regards as the clutches of Western imperialism and neo-colonialism.
It is not in Burkina Faso that they will come to give crumbs because they are hungry. It is not in Burkina Faso. We should no longer be seen as beggars. It is us who should give to others what we have not finished consuming. It is us who should do the right thing. So, that is why I say I invite people to change their mindset. Believe in yourselves. It is possible.
There is a new scramble for Africa. The new scramble for Africa is a little bit more different. It is not, they will allow us to have our leaders, but they'll be told, if you want money in agriculture, behave this way.
Burkina Faso just made history. President Ibrahim Traoré has broken ground on what's being called Africa's longest irrigation canal. A bold move that's turning heads across the continent. This isn't just about water. It's about rewriting the future of agriculture, food security, and independence for millions. The dry plains are about to become green lifelines. And at the center of it all is one fearless leader that is refusing to let the Sahel stay barren. What does this mean for Africa's future? Stick around because this story is much bigger than you think. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video and also share it if you want Ibrahim Traoré to succeed. The bulldozers have rolled in and Africa will never be the same. The dust in the cloud rose like a signal fire. Bulldozers, survey drones, and thousands of workers lined up along the aid that is stretched between Burkina Faso and the Sahel. Ibrahim Traoré, the man once mocked by Western analysts as too young and too revolutionary, stood with a hard hat and a vision. The continent watched as the first ground was broken on what will become Africa's longest irrigation canal. A project so massive it makes the Suez look like a garden trench. This isn't just about water. This is about independence. This is about rewriting the script for African agriculture. Traoré's blueprint spans over 1,200 kilometers, cutting across Burkina Faso, linking to tributaries in Mali, Niger, and even tapping the southern banks of the Niger River. The ambition is terrifying in the best way possible. He's not waiting for foreign aid. He's not taking IMF loans. He's using mineral revenues, crypto reserves, and bilateral trades with non-Western allies to fund the canal outright. The West built railroads to extract our gold, he said during the groundbreaking ceremony. We will build canals to feed our children. What you're seeing now isn't just construction. It's absolutely a rebirth. Farms that have been dry for decades will bloom again. Villages that prayed for rain will have a constant flow. And more importantly, a message has been sent, and which is Africa is done begging. With this canal, Traoré isn't just watering crops. He's watering a revolution that's been thirsty for centuries. It will be more than a canal, it's a lifeline for the Sahel. You can't understand the scale of this thing until you stand next to it. Trenches wide as highways, the pumping stations will be the size of stadiums. But what makes this project revolutionary isn't just its engineering, but for its purpose. The Sahel that was once vibrant has suffered from years of desertification, climate neglect, and broken promises. And entire communities abandoned their lands because there simply wasn't enough water to survive. Traoré looked at this disaster and saw an opportunity. His canal won't just carry water, it'll carry hope. Plans show that the canal will supply over 40 million people with access to sustainable irrigation and clean water. And not just for drinking. This will revive rice fields, cotton plantations, and mango groves. Smallholder farmers who used to dig wells with their bare hands are now forming cooperatives backed by any government grants and guaranteed access to the canal. It's genius. Traoré isn't just feeding people, he's creating an economy from the soil up. And while Western media tries to frame him as a populist firebrand, the truth is he's working smarter than anyone in the room. His engineers are a mix of Burkina Faso youth and African experts who came back from Europe to build their future at home. Traoré is not forcing them, he's inspiring them. And here's what makes it wild. The canal cuts through regions once torn by conflict. Now warlords are laying down arms to become contractors. Are you surprised? Yeah, even me too. Traoré is turning battlefield zones into bread baskets. Not with speeches, with water, with willpower, and with action. Economic projections are compelling. Burkina Faso is going to experience over 5,000 new jobs in the tech sector by 2030, and also an estimated 15% increase in rice production through satellite-guided irrigation. This is one of the best. Honestly, if all the African economies could adopt this system, we will be good and be able to feed ourselves. Because honestly, in this era, there's nothing good than having an effortless irrigation in any farm. Now, this is going to create an attraction of more than $200 million annually. The West didn't see it coming, and now they're nervous. Let's be real, the usual global powers are not happy about this. But why? Because Traoré didn't ask them for help. He didn't knock on the doors of the IMF. He didn't invite the EU to set terms. Instead, he tapped into BRICS partnerships, secured infrastructure aid from Turkey and the UAE, and got technical input from South Korean hydrologists. This a nightmare scenario for neo-colonial players. But here's the twist. Traoré made it clear that this project wasn't anti-West. It was pro-Africa project. But the West can't stand when Africa acts like it doesn't need babysitting, and now they're scrambling. They think tanks are suddenly publishing reports and questioning the environmental sustainability of the project. News outlets are painting the canal as geopolitical gamble. And yet on the ground, none of that noise matters. Families are digging channels with their own hands. Local schools are creating irrigation curriculum modules. Women's groups are managing cooperative water tanks. This canal isn't just a pipe, it's a movement. And Traoré's genius is how he's handling the criticism. He doesn't argue, he doesn't defend, he just builds. While European leaders debate carbon footprints, Traoré is planting forests along the canal banks. While lobbyists whine about trade disruptions, he's launching solar farms to power the water flow. In a world where politics is mostly performance, Traoré's performance is through production. He's outworking everyone. And the West, for all it thinks is all about tanks and policy briefs, suddenly finds itself watching a 36-year-old revolutionary irrigate an empire with self-reliance, tech, tradition, and that is Traoré formula. Here's what most people don't realize. Traoré didn't just order a canal, he designed a system. This isn't a one-off vanity project, it's an integrated continent masterstroke. The canal incorporates satellite-monitored flow gauges, AI-based irrigation timing systems, and drone surveillance to spot leaks or sabotage attempts. But it's not just high-tech, it's high trust. Villagers are being trained to manage their own sections using traditional water-sharing customs mixed with modern efficiency models, and that's the Traoré formula. Blend indigenous knowledge with global innovation. He's got Fulani herders in advising engineers on how to divert cattle routes without disrupting nomadic patterns. Mossi elders are consulted before land is touched, ensuring ancestral lands are respected. You know what that does? It eliminates resistance, and it invites unity. This project doesn't just bring water, it brings purpose. And while other nations fight over water rights, Traoré is signing water-sharing agreements in advance with Mali, with Niger, even with Chad. He's making this canal a continental pact, not just a national project. It's diplomacy through infrastructure. Even the funding model is innovative. Instead of centralizing profits, Traoré structured it so each region gets equity in their portion of the canal. That means locals aren't just users, they're stakeholders. That's how you prevent corruption. That's how you create legacy. This isn't just some trench in the dirt. This is Africa's bloodstream designed to pump opportunity to every corner it touches. And it's all happening because one man refused to do things the old way and do it in a new model of Africa development. Stay with me till the end because I will reveal the one factor that could determine whether this bold vision succeeds or fails, and also how the African diaspora might play a crucial role. Let's begin with a project that addresses a problem familiar across Africa. Air Burkina Revival. When 80% of West African air traffic is handled by non-African airlines, the economic costs are enormous. That's why Traoré's government has invested $450 million to revive Air Burkina with fleet upgrades and airport modernization. The economics are particularly interesting. Africa aviation is projected to grow 9% annually over the next 2 decades. Airport construction alone has created nearly 5,000 direct and indirect jobs. And that literally means that improved accessibility will boost the economy, and this is the seeds of tomorrow. what the future looks like now, and let's fast forward 5 years from now. The canal will be complete, and the dry lands of northern Burkina Faso are now emerald green. Children who once walked miles for water will now have splash in backyard fountains. Crops that hadn't grown in 20 years will now feed entire provinces. This is not a dream, it is reality. It's a projection that Traoré's own Ministry of Agriculture has published. But more than the harvest, it's the ripple effect matters a lot. With the canal up and running, food exports will increase, lowering Africa's dependency on imported grain. Traoré plans to build agro-processing zones right along the canal, creating jobs and local value chains. Farmers will become exporters, villagers become entrepreneurs, and remember those youths who once risked their lives migrating north? They're staying. They're building and they're thriving. That's what water does. It roots people in places. It turns chaos into community. Schools are rising, clinics are opening, and life expectancy is climbing. And it's all connected to this single audacious act of irrigation. This canal is more than infrastructure. It's a philosophy, a declaration that Africa doesn't need handouts. It needs leadership. And Traoré, for all his bold moves and military roots, has become something no one expected. A builder, a unifier, a man who understands that you don't have to conquer the world to change it. You just have to water your corner of it until it grows. And now all of Africa is watching, inspired, and asking the most important question for all. If he can do it, why can't we? From dust to destiny, Traoré's irrigation canal isn't just a construction project, it's a revolution in the making. As the waters begin to flow, so too does a new era for Africa. One of self-reliance, innovation, and unstoppable hope. While the world watches in silence, Burkina Faso rises with thunder. And this canal, it's just the beginning. If you believe in bold visions, in leaders who fight for the land and its people, then this is your moment to subscribe to this channel. Also like the video, share it, and let the world know Africa is claiming its power.